Woohoo! That's what abnormal looks like. So, this was supposed to be a rainy day project, but it's not raining outside. It's completely sunny, but this needs to get done. I'm kleptoing this idea from Kevin Linton, who's a host owner as well and a Cascade owner. What I'm trying to do is get rid of the foam that we put underneath the slides. That worked very well, but this seems like it'd be a more permanent solution. What I'm using is, what I'm doing is putting the rubber trim underneath here, and I already tried a piece to try to get the measurements and stuff like that. First, I'm going to go ahead and mark 1.5 inches on the wood. I didn't trust this carpet length, so I'm going to try to trust this wood that it was cut straight. So that gives me 1.5 inches. That'll be on the flapper side. I like these for doing camper work. These work out pretty well. On their extra pan head, they're 1/2 inch, so it doesn't go through the plywood as far. But it also, they're self-tapping, so it makes it a little bit easier to get through the rubber. So then what I'm doing is I'm also using a fender washer. You can use any size fender washer. I just happen to have these on hand. A little bit bigger than what I need, but it's all I had, so that's what I'm using. Okay, as you can see, I'm using these to more or less hold it all down. I believe that these screws will work just fine. And I've done it all the way down. I didn't make any splits here, I just left it whole. What I found out is if you do make the split, it leaves a little air gap. Now I'm going to reinstall this, and it does go back up underneath here, underneath the kitchen slide.
So I'm here to show you the final product. When you're looking at it, you can almost barely tell that it's there. There's the rubber on there. And I'm going to pull the slide in, and it just glosses over everything pretty nicely. Gary did add this flap in order to handle this gap right here. This also handles a little bit of that. As it's going in, it's sliding across that floor and then creates a nice seal with the bottom, so we don't have to use those 1/2 inch pipe insulation anymore. This works so much better, it's cleaner, and then he did it on both the kitchen slide and the dinette slide.
The hardest part that I found on this whole project with putting the rubber on the edges is trying to find the screws on that edge in order to get this edge out. I did have to take a little hacksaw blade, try to cut some screws out because it just wasn't going to move. But other than that, that was the hardest part of that whole thing.